You know what, Joe? I'm so off my game. I didn't even play the intro.
Come on.
I know. Should we?
I'm mid-sip here.
I know. I didn't even give it to you. Here you go. Ready? Go. What's going on?
Hey, good morning.
That was like the greatest look of disappointment I've ever seen from you, Joe, when you realized that we were live and I hadn't started the intro, man.
I was like, something's missing here.
We keep it tight around here. You know, these we could maybe we've outgrown our britches and we could use a producer.
There's fun. There's a shot in there in the intro that was 2 years ago.
It popped up on my Facebook notifications. Yeah, that was a good time, huh?
I'm getting, that was a good time. You had found an old box of wine somewhere or got an old box of wine somewhere.
Yeah.
And then we had like a whole tasting with other people.
Yeah, audience is not as hoity-toity as it sounds. It sort of was, but it wasn't as it sounds. I had a good friend. She was moving to New York with her family. And she called and she said, Adam, I got this box of wine that's been under my stairs for probably 10 years since we moved to this house and we've never touched it. We're not into wine. Do you want it? And I was like, yeah. Well, it turns out it was New York Finger Lakes region's wines, which for people that aren't into wine, it's a great region to visit and like go do the tasting. It's not really known. Yeah, it's not really known for age-worthy seller, save wine for special occasion. You just drink it, have a fun time, and it's good. And that's what wine should be. That's 99% of all wine produced. So, but anyway, yeah, what do we have? Like 18, 19 bottles. When she said a box, it was a lot, man. And some of these were entering their third decade of age. And
some of them had like a little silt on the bottom of them, or even on the side of them. Yeah.
We cracked every one of those open and at least tried every one of them. And then we went to the backup stash where we had bought some surefire can't misses of our modern day California wines. It was a blast. Yeah, we had a pretty good little party. It was 8 or 10 of us. We did a big dinner and all that. Yeah.
It was nice. Yeah, it was nice. Let's see. My thing this week.
Yeah.
Football. I really just enjoy football. I really like football. And it's funny because I played when I was a kid with my friends, but I never played anything organized or anything. It was just such a thing in my family to watch football together, and like with my dad and my brother and my sister. We just had a great time always. And it's just such a great season. And I think it's like the start, like when the games start, it's like the start of the season that I love, autumn and Christmas.
Yeah, it signifies so much more. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. It's great. So both my teams won. The Eagles won in Brazil. The Bills won on Sunday.
Yeah.
They struggled a little bit.
Back.
Yeah. Saquon. It's a big catch there. That was really fun.
Look, man.
But the thing is, what's up?
I was just say I wouldn't parse apart whether you struggled or not, man. You guys finished 0-8 or something crazy after an 11-0 start. Like, take the win, take the coach being happy. Yeah. You went into Brazil. Just you're 1-0 and you're good.
Yeah, we got a Monday night game coming up. It's funny that they say like we have a Monday night game.
Right. Yeah.
Have nothing to do with it.
and my Vikes dusted your the Giants, the division opponent for you. So you even got a better leg up. That's us, really collaborating, helping each other out here.
Yes, collaboration, not competition, collaboration,
right.
But healthy competition. The other thing, though, too, is that I was invited to a fantasy league, which I'm a novice at. I've only done it like maybe once or twice before.
Yeah.
And I had a draft, and it was not good. I did not. I got an F in my draft. Did I say this last week? I'm not sure.
No, you didn't. You didn't. It's apparently on your mind. No, you didn't tell me though.
I got an F, and then I lost my first game. So I don't know. I made the wrong choices, and I'm playing with people that have been playing before. The other two is just like kind of like a lark. Wasn't really, serious. Now there's money involved, and I'm not enjoying it. I don't like it. I made the wrong choices. I'm really, really angry about it. I ended up with Brock Purdy at QB, and he just, he pooped the bed last week. Well, he didn't really.
They smoked the other team. They beat the.
He's handing it off. He's not throwing touchdowns. He's just handing it off. I mean, that's it. It's not a good score for a quarterback.
The first rule of fantasy football, right? Tell everybody about. No, tell everybody. It's like this cult. Like it's like people that play it. It's all that I hear about, man. Like it consumes you become one of those guys, man. Like you don't want to do that.
When I said fantasy football, I saw like the spirit just fall out of you. Like your shoulders started to slouch.
Right.
You just don't like it, do you?
I'm completely bored with it, probably because I've never experienced it and I have no actual opinion of it. But it seems like some all-consuming, unproductive gambling that I'm going to lose. And then I have to hear these dudes that are like super nerds talk smack to me for 4 months because they're amazing at something that's not real. Like, get out of here. I don't need this.
Yeah, it's fantasy.
I know, it's in the name. It doesn't matter. It's not real. They got belts and they like bet tattoos with each other. This is ridiculous.
It's funny. We got Chelsea's involved, and another thing is Chelsea and I.
Chelsea's a doctor, so she's quite smart and educated. She is involved in this. Yes. This is beneath her. Okay, go ahead.
And she's like, I don't know if I'm gonna like it. And she's like on the app all the time and like trying to get it. She was like the entire Sunday. She was like, this guy has to get more points. And it's her first time. She's like, what is the point ranking? How does that work? I'm like, I don't know.
Just let me enjoy cheap beer and some wings and I'm good, man. Yeah, Troy doesn't know. Troy says respect for sticking with the Vikings. Troy doesn't know that I grew up a Jaguars fan. I was baptized in mediocre market teams. Okay, pal, I'm fine up here. No, Vikes looked good, man. I'll hand it to them. Well, we've gone down the rabbit hole of fantasy football. So how many people? Sorry, Joe, I'm so cynical. But how many people are in your league? Is it just fun camaraderie?
I don't know. Actually, I don't know the people. Like we're friends with another couple, and they were like, "Hey, we're starting a league." It was kind of last minute, and then it's like their friends. But the funny thing is, Chelsea was out with her friends on Friday nights. You come up with like a logo and a team name.
Yeah, what you guys call yourselves?
Well, Chelsea and I are on different teams.
Oh, okay. Oh, who's winning in the house? Maybe at least you can win at home. Who's winning in the house?
Question. I think I'm probably winning. I don't know. I don't know. See, I'm not competitive. Chelsea is competitive.
Yeah, I'm incredibly competitive. I would be posting scores all around the kitchen on Post-it notes.
But I called myself the Fart Boys for some reason. I thought that was the Fart Boys.
Boys. I did hear correctly. All right. I was like, I didn't hear that right. I did. All right. The Fart Boys. Okay.
It made me laugh. And I thought every time I got to have some enjoyment out of this. So every time I'll look at this, and then I have like a picture as my logo. I have a picture of Martin Short's face that's really funny to me. So
Oh, it looks
I
like he's
thought
walking through a park.
I'm gonna put something on there that I enjoy, so that every time I go on there, I at least laugh a little bit. And so Chelsea was out with her friends, and they ran into somebody that we didn't know. She was with the friend of the she was with a friend of this couple that got us into this league, and her friend saw another person that's in this league, and I was going head to head with him at the time on Friday night, and he was kind of distraught, and they were like, why are you upset?" And he goes, "I'm losing in fantasy football to some guy named the Fart Boys."
Okay, that's the story. The payoff is worth the story. That's nice.
And Chelsea was like, "That's my husband."
Yeah, that's it. So what's Chelsea's name?
Oh gosh,
Are we allowed to
it's
say?
I think it's uh, big sacks, tight ends, and strong D.
I told you she was smart. I told you, everybody. This is all right. That is she wins right there. The season's over, Joe. Way ahead of you. Fantastic. All right. Yeah, see, yeah, Troy gets it. He's down. Well, good luck to the Eagles. I like the Eagles. I like the team. I actually think Sirianni gets a rough what's the word, treatment. I do like the Vikings. I follow the Jaguars, and I enjoy the season too. I realize this isn't supposed to be a football show, but I am excited about the football season as well.
I want to see the Jags really go far because I love Doug Peterson, of course.
Yeah, Peterson's great. They better go far because they just plunked down 275 with an M after it for Trevor Lawrence to wake up and become, what he's supposed to.
Him.
Well, somebody is. They just gave 275 million reasons why they think he is. So anyway, somebody sees something, but I'm ready. I'm ready. But yeah, our backup in Minnesota was really, really good this weekend, and we got the Niners Monday night, I think. Sunday Sunday. So we'll see what we're made of. But anyway, there we go. Joe, I was in Denver this weekend. How fun is that? Denver in September.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes. How was that? Tell me about it.
It was really good. I was at the All-American there's a lot of words here. All-American Reptile and Plant Expo. The easy way to remember it, now that I'm losing my hair, is AARP with an E on the end. So All-American Reptile Plant Expo. Yeah. Robert, I know you're disappointed, man. I know nothing about hockey except that the Maple Leafs have had a really rough go. That's all I know. And I know that's not convenient, man. I'm sorry. Speaking of collaboration, I know we're supposed to collaborate, but that's all I know. But the AARP show was very good. I got to give a huge thanks to Redline Shipping. Robin, I worked with Robin and Redline all weekend, which is always nice and hard to call work. But we did a whole bunch of live episodes, about 10 live episodes from the show. So if you want to check out some breeder perspectives, people live on the floor, that kind of thing. And I got this cool shirt. How about this, huh? Mountain Man Constrictors.
Hey, all right.
Yeah, I got to rate this shirt pretty highly, man. It's got like that broken in heather feel. Yes. It's a next level brand, really nice, and they put some work into the logo. I'm digging it. So anyhow, I picked up a shirt. That's Jake and Skylar. They're out of Utah. One thing I like about going to a show in a different region is that I meet all these new breeders that I just don't know and don't see on the circuit here. If you're from Florida, Utah might not seem that far from Minnesota, but it's so far away. Like I don't know anybody in Utah and, Colorado, Wyoming. So it's a fun show to get to meet some new breeders. So that was excellent there.
Oh, and just the t-shirt thing, I'm always open to receiving t-shirts. You can find me on Instagram at Proper Cup of Joe. Okay. So if anybody wants to, I've already broken in Troy's t-shirts. that he sent me. They're great. So open to sharing that on our show as well.
And I apologize. I have not gotten around to my local postal carrier. I do have a shirt and a little surprise for you from John's Creatures. I have. He
Really?
did. Yeah, he did. He did do the nice work. And I have a similar surprise, but I'm not going to share it until you get yours. So it would ruin the surprise. So anyway, I need to get off my butt. If only I knew a shipping company that I could ship with to get something to Joe. If only. What could I do? So Redline will ship anything. They specialize in live animals, but you could ship anything with them. So I will get that down there. But yeah, Joe needs t-shirts is what I think he's subtly hinting at.
I love t-shirts.
But that's not my one thing. My one
it's
thing.
not?
No, this is really breaking news, and people that have followed me for
Did you get to spend some time in Denver to like truck around Denver a little bit?
No, really almost every moment was booked. But okay, so I had two fun Denver experiences. Well, I had lots of fun experiences. We played pickleball Friday night. Like a whole group of breeders went out, and I will be the first to acknowledge that saying the words pickleball as a grown man feels weird. But it's not even in a weird way. Just could they have not picked any other name for this game that was going to take over the world? But it
sounds kind of cheeky.
But anyway, it is what it is. And it was fun. We had a good time. I never played before, but I played tennis and table tennis a lot in my day. I enjoy both games. So it started to sort of come naturally. We had fun. And then Sunday morning, Robin's really into mountain biking. And he got a group of us, 4 of us went out on a trail at sunrise, man, the mountain, the sun. Yeah. I mean, everybody would be like, duh, the sun comes up from the east. So it's not coming up over the mountains, but you're in the mountain looking at it coming up over the plains. And it's just beautiful. And we're up on this plateau, mountain biking, and it was pretty fun.
Wow. That's awesome.
I really enjoyed that. I like cycling, but I haven't been out and I don't even think this was actual mountain biking, but it was pretty fun. It was, let me tell you, the equipment was legit. As much as I like guitars and music stuff, Robin likes mountain bikes. So these were Ferraris and mountain bikes. They were pretty cool, man. So it was nice, awesome. Nice equipment. So had a really good time there. And Joe, I don't think you've ever met him, but a guy I went to high school with, best man at my wedding, he lives in Denver. So I got to have dinner with he and his wife and hang out. That's Eric. Chelsea knows Eric very well, but I don't know. I don't think that you met him before.
He's not did he used to live in Tampa?
He lived, no, Jimmy. That's Jimmy you're thinking about.
Jimmy, okay.
Yeah, Jimmy came by the house. No,
just by the way, I also like hats. If you got hats, I also like hats. All right, go ahead. Your one thing.
So my one thing, it's breaking news, and it ties into today's show topic because it's really been, I can't just let well enough alone, and I stare at the ceiling at night, and sometimes there's a mundane presidential debate, and I got to keep myself occupied while that's on because I'm just, eye rolling the whole way through.
Oh my gosh!
No, that's all we're saying. That's it. And then, so I got thinking.
That's all we're saying.
That's all we're saying.
We're not getting into that.
I'm not getting into it. I'm not going there. But the one thing is, so my whole time I've had this idea, and this comes from restaurants too. I don't like running sales. I don't like discounting things. I think that I'm offering a good product at a fair price. And why would I encourage somebody to hold out and not buy from me because they think that there's a sale or a discount right around the corner? I've never liked it in restaurants. I've never believed in it. I've never found a reason, the need to discount myself. And then I stumbled into this world of game theory. And game theory is not a game. It's pretty serious, actually, but it can be applied to games. But game theory takes into account irrational decisions of other people, and it tries to codify it and tries to rationalize or at least account for it. So we all can figure out science and formulas. You pay something for this amount and you sell it for this amount, you make that. That's easy stuff. Mm-hmm. The hard part is going, why do people make irrational decisions that seem so simple on the surface and then are more complicated? And one of the things that game theory also addresses is something called imperfect competition. Okay. And imperfect competition means my business relies on the actions of some of my competitors, whether I want to admit it or not. I could say Troy at Balls with Strikes has nothing to do with my business. Well, if we sell the same snake and Troy's selling it for 20% of what I'm selling it for, that affects my business. I can want to be isolated. I can want to be perfect on my own. It's imperfect competition. And I could say it's irrational that he wants to, not that he has, I'm just saying Troy's name just because he's just good regular watcher. And so I say his name over and again. So anyway, I won't call it a discount. I won't call it a sale, but I have given in at Tinley. There's going to be a special pricing event. Stick with me here. But I'm not going to say what it is just yet. I called some friends yesterday and I said, guys, I need a bunch of reels. I need a bunch of content. I got to put some reels together to really promo this thing. And I didn't just stop at understanding that there's irrational stuff. I said, how do I make this fun? How can I make this an interactive game? And how can I leverage some sort of advantage over all these other people that just want to run sales and discounts? So anyhow, that's coming up, and I will share the name of the event because it's really cynical. And I always say that this is just a race to the bottom. So this is going to be called the Tinley Race to the Bottom. It's coming your way at the Proper Royals booth at Tinley in October. So stay tuned for all the details on the Tinley Race to the Bottom.
It is a special pricing event.
That's right. It is not a sale. It could literally be a once in a lifetime occasion. Because if this doesn't go well, I'm going right back to my old standards and beliefs.
That's great, Adam. I mean, it's evolving. You're evolving. You're changing a little bit. But you don't want to admit it. But
no,
it's a step in a certain direction. I used to think that the word special was very, very, I didn't like it at all. Somebody told me that doesn't make it. I don't like the word special. It doesn't make sense. And it's really
restaurants,
vague.
Our marketing guy used to get so mad at me. He's like, what are today's specials? This is not specials. They're features. Special sounds like a discounted junk. This is full price excellence. This is what we are featuring today. Yeah, absolutely, man. I've been at this a long time, man. This is a deep rooted belief that I have. And
I'm gonna go along with you. I'm gonna embrace the word special. I'm gonna put away my aversion to the word special, and I'm gonna embrace special.
Oh, so
I'm gonna change as well.
Do you think I should call it a featured pricing event?
A featured pricing event, a featured event feature. I don't know.
Yeah, special pricing event. Troy brings up a good point, and I want to make I will publicly declare a social contract from myself to the audience. Troy says you could do like some vendors, mark your snakes way up and have a 50% off sale. Yeah, I know that they do, and that's another reason I don't want to. I feel like it would cheapen the brand to do that. So I give my word. Do you raise your left hand? I'll raise both hands. The price is the base price, the value that everything is based off of in this special pricing event is what they are and what they have been on the website. They will be there. I have not gone through and raised anything. I promise that's not going to happen. So there we go. That is what is going to. That's my one thing. So stay tuned. It kind of snuck up on me because Tinley is right at 1 month away. So I really, I got to get this together and get it going. So I put
I do have this other thing that's happening to me recently. So I am the non-reptile guy on this show, right? But in my other social circles, including my family, They have started to send me articles
Yeah. Oh,
about.
right. Yeah, we have to talk about this. Yeah.
They
Yeah. Yeah.
start to, but my thing is like they start to send me articles about snakes and reptiles,
Yeah.
and they know me as the reptile guy now in the family, even though I don't have any reptiles
I was going to
or
ask you,
anything
are you
else.
like out to them? Since you
I
have, so
mean,
you are.
yeah, they all know that I do this show on Thursday morning, and they're all like, I don't want to listen to
Right. So, well, yeah. So what was the article? I mean, I know everybody in the audience will know about it. This is, but yeah, I'd love to hear a bit of an outsider's perspective on this.
Oh yeah, it was. There was a guy who is fighting for his life in North Carolina because he was bitten by the most venomous snake in the world. Um,
Taipan.
yeah, Taipan, and he was being careless with it, and there's a lot of backlash in the community. That's what the article was all about. But so I thought the article was interesting, but even more interesting is that it was sent to me by a family member. Like, hey,
Right.
isn't it? Yeah, this is like your thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, I don't handle snakes. You know, maybe every
Yeah.
once in a while in church, but not you
Right.
know.
Yeah. Only on Sunday mornings. Other than that, come on. Yeah.
So
So
so let me ask this: this is a well known story in this community?
massively well known. Let me give a couple
Oh, South
disclaimers.
Carolina. Sorry
Yeah,
about
it
that.
was South Carolina. I don't know this person. I was not familiar with this person ahead of time. Venomous and free handling is really not my thing. I actually have a customer that's got a massive amount of venomous animals, and he is very responsible. I have no problem with it. He's a rodent customer and a ball python customer actually, but he's got a whole lot of venomous animals. But I just steer clear. I can't assume the risk. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
And here's a great example. But I think he's quite responsible, and he's certainly responsible about like how they're stored and no danger to the neighbors and all of that kind of stuff. And I think he lives in the middle of nowhere. But that's beside the point. I don't know this person. What I do know is that the last thing that this industry needs is national headlines and normal people sending articles to each other about the
Yeah.
Yahoo in South Carolina that got bit by the most venomous snake on the planet. And what I also don't know, but that I've heard, is that he was pretty somewhere between cocky and arrogant about handling it, about talking smack, about having anti venom, as in it's you're not a real venom handler if you have anti venom kind of deal, and that I don't I clearly I don't root for anybody taking a shot from that snake. But you get careless and ahead of yourself in a whole lot of things, driving, anything, you can make some dumb decisions. So,
It's that, yeah, like I feel it's tough because the article was about the backlash about the way that he was handling, but everybody does stuff. Everybody makes mistakes that are careless, and like, even, yeah, like you said, like driving, and you know and maybe I'm just ignorant of the community and what it means to the community, and your point, especially, the last thing the community needs or the industry needs is as headlines of non-reptile people, and that's how we like to be referred to. Okay, not normals. Okay, but
right,
reptiles. Normals is like, oh, they're ordinary. Okay, so please, non-reptile people. Okay.
non-reptiles.
Uh,
Okay. Joe, I think one of, but
but yeah, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back to my the person who sent me this, and I'm gonna say, actually, that's an anomaly in the industry. So I'm gonna go. That's something that I didn't do. That I'm gonna do, because I want to talk about like the anomaly, and how that's not the usual thing.
no, and it wasn't well received by and large before he got bit. you could kind of see in some of the comments that sort of this loose bravado with something so dangerous is just not a good representation. Joe, the other detail that we left out is all of his animals were euthanized. They were all killed because of his behavior too. So like, think what you want. Like we can, like I say, I don't wish it on the guy, but it's sort of like a daredevil. You want to do something stupid, fine. But then all the animals are dead too. So, it's just not my thing. I don't think it's a good I don't think it's a good representation. And it's again, I know I have a lower risk tolerance than most people. You want to do something exciting, go do something exciting. I don't jump out of planes with parachutes. So like, you want to go do something exciting, do something exciting, but there is a better way and a more respectful way to engage. And they are beautiful animals. They're like, there's some local guys. There are actually rattlesnakes in Minnesota, and I forget their names, but they're locally endangered, and you know, so if you can find one in the wild and get to witness it and appreciate it, and they live in some cliffs on this, you know, there's a region of Minnesota called the Driftless region, and there's these cliffs and burrows in the cliffs, and the rattlesnakes live there. So it's a neat engagement, but you handle them. You don't handle them. You engage them with care and you know, at best a hook, and you keep your distance, and they're a rattlesnake, and that's because you have some sense. And the same thing with this would be that case. But anyway, I don't like that that's what the national news is. I would much rather the national news be this cool plant and reptile expo that have merged these two worlds. Let me tell you, man, imagine a dorm room, and maybe the smell of a dorm room that gets spruced up with a nice touch of plants and decor and everything. That's kind of what these plant and reptile expos are like. It's like,
really?
Yeah. It's like, wait a minute, this is a pretty nice room now, you know, versus some of the other shows out there, you know? So, anyway, I would much rather that have been the headline of the week, but it wasn't, you know, and look, I wish the guy the best. I think everybody deserves a shot, at you know, improving and looking at themselves in the mirror and all that kind of thing. So I hope he recovers. But you know, that's I don't know. There it is. Yes,
it's interesting. It's interesting because you're like, if you are doing things that are contrary to what the industry is, the rest of the industry is doing, you are going to receive backlash, of course. But you sometimes don't think about the impact on the rest of the industry,
right?
Know?
Yeah.
And that's something that I didn't take into account when I read that, even though it was about the actual backlash. I don't know. So yeah, when you're being a contrarian like that, you're affecting everyone else. So I can see how the stakes would be high, and the emotions would definitely be high, even beyond the well-being of the person who is hurt.
Yeah. And what happens is, in this crazy divided world that we have, speaking of rational people and decisions, if, say, hypothetically, a politician needs a quick win, wow, we should outlaw these crazy people and their vipers and their, you know, their serpents, their, you know, and you can, there's all sorts of rabbit holes, slippery slopes you could go down from there, and it's going to be widely appreciated, widely accepted. It becomes a distraction from actual problems. This is a total man bites dog story. Like it's a crazy, just a one-off thing that is going to have some trickle down effect to the rest of the industry. I can almost guarantee it, especially in a warmer climate area like South Carolina, where in theory, you know, people are going to go, oh, well, these venomous South Asian snakes are roaming our countryside now. We need to outlaw this, when it's just not the case, you know?
Yeah.
Kreative Reptiles put it. Yeah. Now USARK's got to work twice as hard. All that progress, all that money we've raised, all the good stuff that they've affected. Yep. Reset the clock, go right back to the auction house to raise money for them. So that's pretty pretty frustrating.
Well, I'll do my part, if people bring it up to me as the reptile guy in their circles, I'll do my part.
Will you make a public commitment to never free handle a venomous snake, including the most venomous snake in the world, Joe?
I will take that stand.
Let's
right now.
There we go. We're in it. That's what we, Joe and Adam 2024. That's what we stand for right here. All right. You want to try, we got like 24 minutes. You want to try and understand that this is a,
wow.
Well, we had good content, and that actually, I'm glad you brought that up, because we would have looked oblivious to the industry had we not brought that up. Like that was the responsible thing to do. Yeah, that was good. So yeah, this is one of the kicks that Adam's on when he's bored at night. He just decides to learn new stuff. Which, by the way, speaking of new stuff, Yale University shares a lot of their classes online. And Yale University has their whole game theory course online. I get the professor's lectures from Yale University on game theory. Yeah, it's great. I could just put it on and learn, man. It's great. All sorts of new crap to fill my brain for Tinley special pricing events. The race to the bottom.
I think it's a good opportunity to, if we're making a switch to the content, to really talk about our partners before we go. I think in the middle of the conversation is probably the best place to talk about our great partners.
That's how you tease the prisoner's dilemma coming up after these messages. So look, I agree though. Reagan, Renee, Royal Pythons, that's Charlie. And Charlie does enjoy a good logic conversation. I'm not even joking. He commented earlier. He's like, let's get into it this morning. But listen, Charlie sent me a special post this week. Charlie is moving a whole candy project with pied, clown, and a xanthic. 13 animals. Look, he needs space. You talk about irrational stuff. You need space. Price goes down. He's got to move this stuff. 13 animals. There are visual candies in there. There are het pieds in there. Pied het candies. What am I looking at the list here? Double het candy pieds. Did I see a Q in there? No, I didn't see. I was like, is there a quad? No, there's not a quad. That's a lie. Spot nose candy, het clown, triple het candy, VPI, xanthic pied. Go check it out. It's posted on Morph Market at Reagan Renee Royal Pythons, and Charlie's link is down below as well. Reagan Renee Royal Pythons. Next to that logo is Keith at Creative Genetics. Keith, I got good news, man. The double het looks like she's going to go. I think she's still building. So that is a clown. Double hat clown axanthic with pastel lesser and leopard to a clown axanthic male. The stud is Keith. So he and I are thick into the breeding season project, but Keith has some cool stuff going on. Triples with dark genes, particularly the strangers. So check out what Keith has available as well. Thanks for the support. And guys, stay tuned. A lot of those hatchlings that I'm hatching will come to market before long as well. It's a breeding project with Keith. Cold Blooded Cafe is excellent to me. I would tell you my promo code, but if you go to their website, they're running a 15% off sale in the wake of Dallas NARBC. They're, I don't understand sales, but hey, everybody wants to run them. 15% off if you go to Cold Blooded Cafe right now. When that sale ends, use the promo code PROPER11. You get 11% off your order. After that, I am a believer in Cold Blooded Cafe, and I use their product endlessly. I got a freezer stocked full of it there. And last but not least is Husbandry.pro. I know you've heard of it. I know you've probably decided for yourself, like, I'm either in or I just love my old spreadsheets. And look, I'm a spreadsheet guy. I'm an old kitchen guy. I like to write my prep lists out. I got my system. Let me tell you, Husbandry.pro is saving me time. It's getting me my time back. I ultrasounded, I don't know, 18, 20 females yesterday. Got them all recorded and ultrasounded in under an hour. And I didn't have to transfer anything from a spreadsheet into the computer. It's one of my favorite things I'm finding on the app is that you can use your phone and there's a QR code on your label. You scan it, boom, the animal comes up, you enter your information and it's done. And you can print your report at the end, all in one place, all digitally secure, no mix-ups. Oh, was it this animal? Was it that animal? Was it 14 or was it 10? Nah, it's boom. It's right there. So go to properroyals.com, which is powered by Husbandry Pro, and you'll see the promo code right there, proyals60. You could click there, or you can memorize proyals60. Get yourself 60 free days. Thank you, guys. And, the coffee cup is almost worth the price of admission if it'll focus. It won't focus. I want to focus. Come on. There it is. Right. Oh, yeah. All right. Sweet. Okay.
Yeah, that's nice.
So what's that?
Is that ceramic or is that metal?
No, it's ceramic. I think I have not tried to bash it. It's certainly ceramic. It might be like ceramic coated metal. Like, it's pretty sturdy cup, but I think it's ceramic. But anyway, nice and wide, fat bottom cup. You can, I could drive with this on my center console. It doesn't fit in the cup holder, but it's a wide enough base. I just set it on the console just fine while I'm driving.
I like this.
Yeah, man, that's it. All right. Thank you, Joe, for that, because it is far more important than Adam's mental meanderings. But that is what people come for. So let's check this out. All right. Go ahead. Well, yeah, I don't. So sometimes they enjoy it. Sometimes they just want to see the train wreck that happens from it, right? All right. So here's the scenario, Joe, and again, really quick. The what do the kids say? TLDR. Too long didn't read. Too long didn't read is the prisoner's dilemma. Asks the question: is it better? Will people take short-term competition for that payoff, or will they be patient and take the bigger, largely better and more rational payoff for long-term collaboration? And here is, and I think that applies to ball python breeding. It happens in economics and politics and business. So here's the scenario. 2 criminals are arrested and imprisoned. The police don't have enough evidence to convict them of a serious crime, but they have enough for a minor charge. Okay, that's an important premise. They offer each prisoner a deal. Here you go. If you betray the other prisoner by testifying that the other prisoner committed the crime, you will go free, and the other prisoner will get the full sentence, the worst sentence, and vice versa. So they're both offered that. If both prisoners betray each other, they both receive a moderate sentence. So there's a little bit of incentive to betray each other. But if both prisoners remain silent, they each get a very light sentence for a minor charge. The dilemma, betray. If one betrays the other and stays silent, the betrayer goes free while the other faces a harsh penalty. Cooperate. If both stay silent, they both get a light sentence, which is the best collective outcome. And then the typical reality, mutual betrayal. If both betray, they each receive a moderate sentence, which is worse than mutual cooperation, but it's better than being betrayed alone. So I like playing out these scenarios because that's kind of real life. Like, we would all go, hey, this makes perfect sense. Charlie, you stay in your candy pied lane. I'm going to stay in my Axanthic clown lane, and we're both going to have our own market, and we can refer customers back and forth to each other, and we could take over the world because we'll stay clear of each other. And then one day Adam goes, I think I want a candy pied. And I buy a candy pod. And there we go. The whole thing's turned upside down. And now we have to compete with each other. There's another pricing in the market. And we're suddenly racing to the bottom of pricing and discounts and all of that kind of stuff. So I thought that it was interesting because I see this stuff, like I say, whether it be in politics, whether it be in business, but it's also fun to just play out. I see it in Big Brother, Survivor. I like those kinds of shows. They're really my guilty pleasure du jour these days. So what did you think, Joe? Am I reaching too far here? Did I just want a fun title for the show or what?
The Prisoner's Dilemma.
The Prisoner's Dilemma. So dramatic.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when you first said this, I was like, okay, well, what's the analogy here? I don't understand like how you would link it to the industry or business, and but I mean, how would you create that analogy? Like, so you've already said, okay, I got somebody else, I've agreed to this certain thing, and then I've betrayed them, and then it's bad for both, right?
Yeah.
That's basically what you're saying, right?
Well, and probably a better analogy is we would all exponentially. So in ball python breeding, we always talk about moving forward. So every generation should be better than the previous generation that you produced. So there's part of a mindset that says, how does Reagan Renee get a blue star next to his comment? I never seen a blue star. I run this place. How did you get a blue? Okay, Joe runs the place too. So what's the blue star get you? What's that do?
I don't know. I wanted to like it without showing it, and I just put a blue star there.
All right. Hey, look, man, for the handsome, very rational rate of sponsorship that we charge Charlie, he gets a blue star. Okay. I don't know if other people could see the blue star or not, but
I think it's a reference to something to a television show. I'm not quite sure if that is or not, but it is a reference that I recognized, and I just wanted to put that in there.
Oh, is this some Philly thing? Sunshine and Philly? And yeah, okay. Yeah. All right, cool. Total loss of thought. All right, so we always talk about moving forward. Yeah. So in theory, every generation should be better than the previous generation. So much so that some people subscribe to the idea, never make the same pairing twice, because you would just produce the same thing. You're not moving forward if you produce the same pairing twice. So then that stands to reason that I should call, again, I'll use Charlie or Troy at best, anybody. I should call somebody and go, what is the best female you have to work with my best male? And neither of us, and in theory, if my best male is better than their best male and their best female is better than my best female, we should work together, because the collaborative result of doing that over and over long term exponentially is far better than the sum of its parts of just the value of combining two collections.
Yeah.
I hate breeding projects. Even with the best people in the world, I don't like them. Even with the best loner snake I could have imagined Keith sending, and it has nothing to do with the people. I just don't like breeder projects. And so it doesn't really quite match rationally. And here we are back to the prisoner's dilemma. I'm just being selfish. I'm just looking out for myself. Then the other person goes, fine. And I just got to look out for myself. And we both get moderate sentences in mediocrity.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So I've never been arrested with somebody else. I've never committed a crime or been in this situation, but I do. I mean, you see this situation all the time.
All of my arrests have been solo. Okay, I just want to make that clear. I too don't know anything about this dual possibility of dilemma here.
When I get into something, I do it on my own. I do it
alone. Yeah, I don't need any help to shoot myself in the foot. I'll let you know.
But you see it all the time on like cop shows and stuff like that. They playing each other against each other and all that.
Right.
But what happens a lot is they present that to one of them that they have been betrayed by the other.
Right. And so they play it out without it even being true. And I don't mean, let me be clear. I don't mean this as a knock on the cops. I mean it as the storylines that we see presented. Yeah. They play it out as true.
So, and the person always usually says something like, well, they would never do that to me. They would never do that to me. They would never do that. But now that's the regular thing. It's a cliche. It's, all of those things in those cop drama shows. But I think it kind of speaks to this dilemma that you have as well, which is if you're going to collaborate, you've got to collaborate with the people that you trust.
Yeah, that's one word. There it is. The word is trust. And again, we all rationally know I could be far more productive hiring somebody to, help me clean so that I can get on to cool show topics like this and make our big money from balls and strikes to $10 right there. Boom.
Thanks, man.
But it took me years to get my head around why I'm going to pay somebody. That's money I earned. Why am I going to pay it back out kind of deal? Well, it's so that I could be more productive. I can market better. I could go sell more. I could sleep better and get more clear thoughts because I'm sleeping. So it's this whole, we're back to this whole trust thing. And I feel like do we weigh, what do you think about this, Joe? You're kind of a philosophical guy, much better than I am at that. Do we weigh failures and trust? Do we outweigh failures and trust more than we weigh successes and trust? So do we think more about our failures far more than all of the, do we think of I don't know. I don't want to get too sensitive here. Do we weigh a divorce far more than all the great relationships we've ever had or something like that?
My gut reaction to that is yes. And I don't know, maybe that's a great question for the chat too. My gut reaction though is yes. If there's anything negative that goes on with any relationship, we place more value on that negativity. We place more value on that negative aspect than on the positive stuff. And then when we see the array of people who are in relationships, we talk and we think more about the failed relationships than the successful relationships. And like every once in a while we'll go, oh yeah, they're a good couple. Like how often do you do that? But you do this more often. You go, oh yeah, I knew that was never going to. They're bad for each other.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Better topic of conversation.
We never sit around. Yeah. We never sit around and go, man, I knew from day one, you guys were going to make it. It's always the ones who are like, I knew that was garbage. What were you doing? Like it's terrible. But I sort of see it in the same light. And Melinda asks, Cuddle Time Critters, Melinda, I hope you're doing well. But Adam, you did a breeder project together with somebody. Why would you feel this way? I can say first, it's not about the person. Keith is in the audience. He's a sponsor of the show. He's very good. And he's not the only person I've done breeder projects with. It's about me. I don't like the variables. I don't like the unknown. I don't like all the work that I've been putting into Proper Royals being potentially, not actually, none of this is real. This is all in my head, being potentially affected by somebody else. I don't like that. The real scenario right now, we don't know if one of the females is going to go. So how do we make up our original arrangement to make both of us full with everything else? Oh, it's restarting from the start. I don't know. And so rationally, and I've had this conversation with Keith, rationally, hugely thankful. The whole thing I talked about earlier, hey, I got a really good male and you got really good females. Let's put them together and the cumulative result is going to be phenomenal, better than we could have done individually. That is absolutely true. But like focusing on the divorces rather than all the successful, beautiful marriages, I'm going, what am I going to do? This would have been just easier if I just bred my own stuff. No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't have been better. This is an amazing male. I didn't have the thousands of dollars to go buy this male. I have an amazing opportunity. So, but that's the game theory irrational thing that game theory tries to account for is why do humans behave in this stupid short-term way? I'm not looking long-term at the collaborative part. I'm looking short-term at this little thing in my head.
Well, yeah, your problem isn't really with the dilemma that you described. Your problem is doing the crime in the first place with the other person. Whether or not you want to do the crime with the other person in the first place.
So you're saying the prisoner should never have been arrested and they wouldn't have to worry about any of this crap.
Yeah.
If they just
let's take the analogy a little further.
Okay. All right. Now Joe's he's hitting his stride now.
So you're going to rob a bank.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
So if you go into the bank alone, you gotta have crowd control. I mean, I don't know. I've never robbed a bank. I don't know. But you gotta have crowd control. You gotta get a getaway car. Everything that you see in movies is there's like 3 or 4 people that are involved.
Right.
And usually that doesn't even work, right? That's why they're in the prisoner's dilemma in the police in the interrogation rooms.
Yeah.
Right. But if you go in alone, there's no way. You got to have all of these different moving parts. So
Yeah.
your issue is, do I want to rob the bank alone?
Which you can't do. That's the preemptive prisoner's dilemma, because you can't do it alone. So you got to trust somebody. And then when it starts to fall apart, will the trust stay in place, or will the detectives, will they break the perps?
The preemptive prisoner's dilemma. That's what the issue is.
Yeah.
Do you want to rob the bank alone? Because you won't. You will fail. You will fail.
You will fail. You will not get the money.
But there's a slim chance that you'll get more money.
Right.
Okay, but that's not even a chance. There's probably not even a chance of that happening. There's like a little chance, but you're holding on to that little chance. You're making that little chance bigger in your mind,
right,
than having the actual ability to get away with the crime.
Yeah, and I mean, we can't take this back too far, because eventually we're going to end up at their poor childhood and socioeconomic status and why they need to rob the bank in the first place.
Your problem is with your father.
Yeah, okay, that's right. And really it was his father. So back in 1946, but me and Keith weren't robbing banks. It was a perfectly reasonable pitch from a very good person that I've known for a long time. There's no reason not to do this. And this was exactly the conversation. It's a funny story. I should have him on the show once sometime. He calls me, and I had my speech written out about how nice of a person he was, how crazy in the head I am, and there's no way that I'm going to do this. I appreciate it. And then he clarified the animal, and I was like, oh my God, I have to do this. So like, we weren't robbing the bank. The odds and the predictable, not even the odds. When you have a double visual recessive, you don't have to play the odds. You know, everything is going to be 100% het. I don't have to test. I don't have to anything. It's all packaged nicely there. So it wasn't a risky move like robbing a bank or getting a getaway car or any of those logistics. Yeah. And this is not a perfect analogy, because I'm not worried. I'm truly not worried about the prisoner's dilemma here with Keith, but the tenets of this can be applied everywhere. And yes, my own anxiety does give us fantastic. Here's the basis of the show. We thought it was Joe being a non-reptile guy. It's really that Adam's an insane psychopath and is comfortable speaking about it.
So let me ask you this. You've done collaborations.
I have.
And they've been successful.
They've both gone wonderfully well.
Okay. Does it allay any of the
concerns? No.
Anxiety? No, it doesn't allay. So even your successes,
even my successes make me go, I just want to do this in-house.
I go in with 2 other guys to rob a bank, and I have 2 successes. I'm going a third time with the same 2 guys.
I see it differently. You ever see that movie Blow with Johnny Depp, and is about the cocaine importation in the 80s? He was so successful, so filthy rich, and he got out 3 times, and 3 times he goes back in for just one more. And the 3rd time he gets a life sentence in jail. Okay. Don't rob the bank the 3rd time.
But this is where the analogy breaks down. You're not robbing banks. You're doing successful stuff with your snakes.
I know, but the snake could die. It could die in my care. And then what? And then I'm busted. Then my reputation's on the line. Did I kill the snake? Was it negligent? Did I make it right? Did I, am I pinned to the floor because the other person goes, oh, there it is. You killed my amazing stud. And, it's a whole year lost.
Yeah, but whoever you collaborate with, all of those things are wrapped up. They're all on the level with you. They all know that those types of things are happening, and there's risk involved, definitely.
But I put myself in their shoes. If I sent a multi-$1,000 snake to somebody and I don't get it back, I'm not going to go, well, this stuff happens. I know this stuff happens, but I'm not going to feel that way.
Yeah.
So there's my risk. There's the trust dilemma problem.
But there's something about you saying that your first concern was the care that you take for their snake, right?
Yeah.
That's your first concern. There's something about that too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have to take better care. I'm throwing stuff here. I have to take better care of their snakes than I take of mine because it's theirs. It's like borrowing somebody's, you don't really want to borrow somebody's Ferrari. What happens if you screw that thing up?
Yeah. So let's wrap this up.
Okay.
In a tight little bow.
Please, can you do that for us, Joe?
Adam's got issues.
Up, Phil?
Let's just say this. Adam's got issues.
In the head. I told you last show, I do these shows because I need to hear this stuff, not because anybody else does.
It is a testament to the people that you have collaborated with, that you trust them so much that you've overcome this anxiety to collaborate.
2 thumbs up to Keith at Creative Genetics and Shannon at Green Dragon Brokers. Both fantastic collaborations, and I have exceeded where I could have gotten to on my own because of their collaborations.
And you can't rob a bank alone, everybody. Okay. I know that you want to take the full take of the money from the vault and you want to go, I can do this. I can do all of it and but that's not going to happen. You can get farther and you can get that money. You have a larger chance of getting the money from the vault if you work with other people.
And don't crack when you're in the cell. Trust each other. You're both going to get minor sentences. You'll be out by Thanksgiving, and we'll have some turkey together.
You got to collaborate with the right people.
There we go. I don't know if I highlighted enough because I don't think the game theory serves this concepts right. Classes at Yale are taught on this, and you can get those for free on YouTube. So there you go. Go learn stuff. It's a beautiful time to be alive, man. Joe, we're in overtime. We can't do our quick usual banter. In 27 minutes, I have to be in a different office. So I got to tell you, thank you. Audience, thank you for putting up with our craziness. I think it ended up okay. I thought that was fun. So we'll do it same time, same place next week. Go check out all the sponsors. And special thanks to Keith. He didn't know he was going to be put under the microscope this morning. He's like, and now I'm never doing a breeder alone with Adam again either. See you guys. Take care, Joe.
Take it easy, Ben.
Yeah, man.